The perfume industry runs on a simple bet that you'll be so distracted by the bottle, the name, and the counter that you never ask what you're really paying for. For years, they have been winning that bet. In this video, we are calling that bluff. We name 5 luxury brands that charge you for story, spectacle, and status more than for the juice inside. Then we name 5 hidden gem houses where your money finally goes into the formula. Let's start with the most polite ripoff and work our way down to the worst offender. Number 5. Jo Malone London. Jo Malone has become the uniform of safe luxury. The cream ribbon, the clean labels, the promise of effortless taste in a bottle. The branding is genuinely beautiful. The counters are calm, the names are soothing, the whole experience whispers you cannot go wrong. The problem is not that Jo Malone smells bad. The problem is that, for the price, it rarely does enough. Most Jo Malone fragrances are built to be linear. They open with a clear, pleasant accord, sit politely on your skin for a short window, and then slip away before they have a chance to evolve into anything memorable. That clean, airy style is a philosophy, immediately likable, impossible to offend, and very easy to layer. Layering is the magic word, because it quietly turns one bottle into 2 or 3 to get the effect you wanted in the first place. You end up paying luxury prices for a perfume that often feels incomplete on its own. You are not just buying a scent, you are buying a system that nudges you toward the next bottle on the shelf. If you are paying that much, your fragrance should stand on its own legs. If Jo Malone is the tax you pay for safe, quiet luxury, the next brand is what you pay for pure spectacle. Number 4. Dior. Dior has turned perfume into a movie franchise. Big budgets, famous faces, dramatic ads that could double as film trailers. Walk past a Dior counter, and you are not just seeing bottles. You are walking through a tiny, heavily produced film about aspiration. That experience is not cheap, and the cost of that spectacle gets folded neatly into the price of each bottle. Do Dior fragrances smell good? Yes, many of them do. And some are modern crowd pleasers, but they are engineered for volume. J'adore Miss Dior, Poison, these are global uniforms worn by millions. To work at that scale, the compositions have to be broad, familiar, and safe. They need to please as many noses as possible, in as many places as possible, with minimal risk of anyone hating them. That means your money is doing 2 jobs. It funds a perfume that smells luxurious enough, and it funds Dior's place in the global imagination. You are paying as much for the movie as for the liquid. If you are okay with that, fine. But if you are a woman over 40 with a clear sense of who you are, paying top-tier prices to smell like everyone else in the airport is a very specific kind of disappointment. If Dior sells you aspiration, the next brand sells you something even more powerful for your wallet, the comfort of feeling correct. Number 3. Chanel. Chanel has genuinely earned its place in perfume history. Chanel No. 5 changed what perfume could be. Other classics from the house are true masterpieces, and the higher-end lines contain real artistry. The issue is not that Chanel is unworthy. The issue is what happens when a house that has earned legitimacy starts selling that legitimacy as its main product. For many women, especially those who grew up watching mothers and grandmothers spray Chanel before leaving the house, the name itself becomes the decision. When you buy Chanel, you are not just buying a scent, you are buying reassurance that you chose correctly. That certainty is soothing. In a category that feels overwhelming, notes, flankers, reformulations, Chanel stands there as a shortcut to good taste. But certainty is not the same as the best use of your money. A logo that whispers you have taste is not a top note, And it is not a base note either. The women who get the most from Chanel are the ones who truly love a specific Chanel perfume, who have compared it with others and still choose that one because it fits them perfectly. Those women are paying for a fragrance. Everyone else is paying for the logo to make the decision for them, and at luxury prices, that is an expensive way to feel safe. If Chanel wraps you in legitimacy, the next brand wraps you in fantasy, the idea that buying a bottle is almost a personality trait. Number 2. Tom Ford. Tom Ford understood early that in perfume, desire sells harder than fragrance. Dark glass, gold accents, names that sound a little forbidden, counters lit like a private club at midnight. With Tom Ford, you're not just buying a scent. You're buying the idea that the person who wears it moves through the world differently. Some Tom Ford fragrances are genuinely excellent, distinctive, stylish, and instantly recognizable in a good way. The problem is that the pricing treats almost every bottle as if it is in that masterpiece category. Especially in the private blend line, prices rocket into a different universe. At that level, you're paying less for materials and more for position, the right bottle, on the right tray, in the right bathroom. Put a Tom Ford private blend next to a comparable niche fragrance from a small independent house at the same price, and you will often find the independent scent offers more complexity or more interesting development. What it does not have is the Tom Ford name or the Tom Ford aura. So you have to ask, are you shopping for the air around the bottle or for the liquid inside? Because with Tom Ford, the AIR is doing a lot of the work. If Tom Ford charges you for the universe around the bottle, the next house charges you for something stranger, the feeling of being instantly recognized by almost everyone, everywhere. Number 1. Maison Francis Kurkdjian. The price of being recognized. A house that deserved its early reputation and then became a victim of its own success at high speed. Francis Kurkdjian is one of the most technically gifted perfumers of his generation. Many of his creations are sophisticated, balanced, and beautifully made. Then, Baccarat Rouge 540 exploded, and everything changed. Baccarat Rouge 540 went from insider favorite to cult hit to worldwide phenomenon. Now it is one of the most instantly recognized scents on earth, even by people who do not think of themselves as perfume people at all. It has also become one of the most copied fragrances ever. There are countless dupes and inspired by scents at a fraction of the price. Wearing it now does not signal discovery. It signals that you are wearing the perfume everyone already knows. At that point, what are you paying luxury prices for? Not for uniqueness, not for secrecy. You are paying to attach yourself to a scent that has already been decoded by TikTok, influencers, and drugstore shelves. The perfumery is still excellent. The luxury proposition has quietly unraveled. At high-end prices, your money should buy you artistry, individuality, or both. Baccarat Rouge 540 now mainly buys you recognition, and recognition is something everyone else gets too. If those are the brands quietly taxing you for safety, spectacle, certainty, fantasy, and recognition, where does your money finally start working for you? Let us look at 5 houses that put most of the budget where it belongs in the formula. Number 5. Guerlain. Finished ideas, not just pretty bottles. Guerlain is what happens when a perfume house has nearly 2 centuries to refine its identity and does not rush. The through line is simple: elegance with depth, femininity with backbone, luxury that does not need to shout. These are perfumes that feel finished, in a way many modern launches do not. Shalimar remains one of the most beautiful Orientals ever composed. Smoky, warm, vanillic, but never collapsing into syrup. Mon Guerlain takes familiar notes like lavender and vanilla and makes them feel comforting and grown-up instead of generic. These are not spray and forget scents. They develop, shift, and reward patience over hours. That kind of development is exactly what gets lost when a brand leans too hard into safe, linear formulas. With Guerlain, your skin gets a story, not just a slogan. You are paying not just for ingredients, but for decades of institutional knowledge, signature accords, house style, and a sense of proportion that only time can teach. If Guerlain shows you what heritage and depth look like, the next house shows you how restraint itself can feel like true luxury. Number 4. Hermes. Hermes is one of the few luxury brands that makes restraint feel opulent instead of cheap. In a world obsessed with projection and beast mode, Hermes fragrances often sit close to the skin. They're designed as suggestions, not announcements. This is perfume as discovery, the kind of scent someone only notices when they're close enough to deserve it. Jour de Hermes takes a white floral idea and renders it like watercolor instead of oil paint. Bright, transparent, modern, but not flimsy. Twilly turns ginger and florals into something youthful and intelligent, not another sugary spray marketed as empowerment. Even classics like 24 Faubourg manage to be radiant without going harsh. They feel like well-tailored clothing. The details are for you and for the few people who really pay attention. You're paying for polish, precision, and a philosophy of how perfume should behave in real life. For women who are tired of shouting, that quiet confidence is worth far more than yet another loud designer flanker. If Hermes is for women who have nothing left to prove, the next house is for women who are completely done with playing it safe. Number 3. Serge Lutens. Serge Lutens built his fragrance house around atmosphere, mood, and a refusal to be immediately comfortable. These are not perfumes chasing instant approval. They are built to stay with you, unsettle you a little, and show you something new the second or third time you wear them. Feminate Dubois effectively invented the idea of a woody oriental for women, putting cedar at the center in a way that felt radical when it launched. You can still see its influence all over modern perfumery. Amber and vanilla-focused scents from this house take notes that have been abused to death and give them depth and shadow instead of dessert. They are warm, but they have structure and darkness too. These fragrances assume you are comfortable with complexity. They assume you do not need to be liked by everyone in the room on first sniff. From a value perspective, that is gold. You are paying for a point of view, not just a pretty smell. If Serge Lutens is what happens when an artist builds a perfume house, the next brand is what happens when a working perfumer quietly does things her own way, far from corporate strategy decks. Number 2. Parfums de Nicolai. No hype tax. This is where many women end up after they get tired of paying for names. Parfums de Nicolai is an independent house founded by Patricia de Nicolai, from the Guerlain family and one of the few female master perfumers in France. No celebrity faces, no giant billboards, no big group ownership. What there is instead is focus, resources concentrated into the formula. Fig tea balances green, watery, and creamy aspects without tipping into shampoo. Odalisque is a clean floral that actually has structure and backbone, instead of just smelling pretty and vanishing. Ombre Cashmere. Intense is warm and complex without being heavy or sticky. It is an amber that feels specifically adult. These are scents that age well on your skin and in your life. At prices that often sit below the big luxury counters, you are paying for composition, concentration, and the perfumer's judgment, not for a global campaign. This is what it looks like when your money mostly goes into the bottle. If Parfums de Nicolai is the insider's secret for underpriced quality, the final house on this list is a modern brand that actually earns the new luxury label instead of just borrowing the aesthetic. Number 1. BDK Parfums. BDK is one of the rare newer houses that feels contemporary without feeling disposable. Most modern niche brands stumble in one of two directions. They either chase artiness so hard the scents become unwearable, or chase mass appeal so hard everything smells like a slightly tweaked version of the same safe accord. BDK walks the line with surprising intelligence. Its fragrances have personality, but they are built to live on real skin, in real cities, for real days. Rouge smoking opens like it might be another sweet, fruity floral, then refuses to go there. It dries down drier, more complex, with a quiet smokiness that feels adult instead of adolescent. Gris Charnel wraps musks and woods into something skin-like and quietly sensual, the kind of scent that makes people lean in and ask what you are wearing without being able to place it. Velvet Tonka takes cozy tonka bean and polishes it into something refined instead of edible. Price-wise, BDK sits in considered purchase territory, more than designer, less than the wildest private blends. But unlike many brands at similar numbers, you are paying for modern identity and a clear direction, not just for a logo that works at a distance. For a woman who wants her perfume to feel current, distinctive, and genuinely well-made, BDK is an excellent way to spend perfume money right now. Which brand on your current tray do you now suspect is quietly ripping you off? Which hidden gem are you most curious to try next?